Hello, everyone. This is Josephson from Shoot from the Hip, and our guest is Mr. Fulford, Mr. Benjamin Fulford from Japan. Hello, Mr. Fulford.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
Mr. Fulford is an expert he's in journalism. He's an author, and he's a super expert, let's say, of the deep state. What we're asking him is currently is about his experience about professional intuition. Mr. Fulford, how often do you use your professional intuition in your decision making or in collecting the information? Often, very often, or sometimes?
Well, often, you know, it's like a collection of all your experiences in your subconscious mind. So it's a little bit like looking for oil. You think, okay, maybe there's oil here, and you drill a hole, and sometimes oil comes out and sometimes it doesn't. So you think, okay, there's something strange that's happening right now in Poland. It doesn't look like a normal situation. And you get that just from, it's your collective experience in life, and it's based on what happened in the past. And then what I do is I try to confirm the intuition by looking for facts, and that's one of the things I do. Another thing I try to do is to find different bits of information that somehow seem to be connected, and then find out if there's something bigger behind that. But a lot of time, really, you just really have to use your instinct, but then you have to follow through with fact checking. That means always go to the source. Find for example, if you find a story on the net, keep going and clicking until you find the very first one that appeared. And whenever possible, talk directly to people and get the information straight from the world. So, you know, if you have a friend of a friend of a friend, I believe it's through 6 people, you can connect to anybody on Earth. So if you use these networks to get information, you can learn stuff before it's on the internet and use that to your advantage. That's sort of how I try to operate.
And how does it usually work out to manage to select those tendencies in the world, or to recognize their nature, the nature of the tendencies? Does it work usually?
Well, it's sometimes it's like fishing. You think there's a fish, you send your line out and nothing happens. You just have to, but you know, eventually you're going to hit something. That you know, it doesn't always work, but it's where to start. You've got to follow your instincts. You know, a lot of what we do, it's not based on logic so much as collective experience. Going back literally billions of years from when we were the first little microbes in the bottom of the ocean, there's this kind of built up life knowledge database. So, for example, one thing that puts humans above computers is we have love and other emotions. These are like pre-recorded response patterns. It's like it gives us an advantage based on our collective past experience of life. So, you know, it is instinct. You've got to trust your instincts because that comes from the very life force itself.
So it's not too much about logic, but it's based. Everything is based on instinct, and the logic comes second.
Logic is what you do to check it and confirm it later.
And as I understand, as time passes by and as experience gathers more, one has better instincts as well. So the logic and the intuition comes hand by hand.
Yes. For example, say you're talking to somebody and their eyes keep moving away or something. There's little things you can tell. Okay, this man's lying, or it's a accumulation of experience. Sometimes you can't be sure exactly what it is that makes you think that, but you realize, okay, there's something wrong here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm going to look further and find out. So as usual, for me, the instinct or the intuition is like the starting point, and then you have to do the work to confirm it, or sometimes your instinct can be wrong, you know. But always start with that and then check in the real world.
So, dear viewers, let's start with intuition and then put the facts next to it. Thank you very much for your advice, Mr. Fulford. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.